Hi, how you doing? It's Jim. Now, cast your minds back, if you will, to 1986. Can you remember it? Can you remember what you were doing? What was going on? Let me give you some clues. It was the year of the Chernobyl disaster, nuclear meltdown in the Soviet Union. It was the year that the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. Argentina won the World Cup. There was a lot of stuff going on. The Top Gun was out as a film. There was The Colour of Money, I think. There was all sorts of stuff going on. Aliens came out that year. Who was born that year? I can tell you. Hold on, I've got it written down here. This makes you feel old. Amelia Clark, Lady Gaga, Usain Bolt, Rafael Nadal, Drake, Richard Madden. These are all people born in 1986. It was also, importantly, the year that this came out. This is Somewhere in Time, the 6th album from Iron Maiden. And I want to draw your attention, if you're not a Maiden fan, to not only this album, but in particular the last song of the album, which is called Alexander the Great. And Iron Maiden have never been shy to hide their sort of progressive tendencies. They're not just a metal band. They're not just a band. They are a really important band to a lot of people, and they are to me. They are one of my favourite, if not my favourite band of all time, because they were with me right from when I first discovered music for myself, and they were my band. But this album, not only has it got the greatest artwork ever, and the detail on here is just insane. And in fact, I might even dedicate an entire video to talking about the artwork on here. But the music on here is absolutely fantastic as well. It's the first time that Iron Maiden ever used synths in their music, and it caused a little bit of controversy at the time. People thought they were selling out, that they were turning into a pop band and all that sort of stuff. Of course, they weren't. And actually, it has dated this album enormously. It does sound 1986. But I want to play you this particular song, Alexander the Great, because it is, if you don't know the band very well, or you have a preconceived idea of what Iron Maiden is, and you don't know this song, it might surprise you. So I think we should be listening to it. This is called Alexander the Great, obviously based on the historical character Alexander, and how Bruce Dickinson managed to sing these words is beyond me. It just is not the easiest set of lyrics to sing, and you'll see what I mean when I play this. Right, let's play and enjoy this. Alexander the Great. 3, 2, 1, bosh.
My son, ask for thyself another kingdom, for that which I leave is too small for thee.
classic Maiden gallop.
Now to the east, in a part of ancient Greece, in an ancient land called Macedonia.
So far, so good.
Was born a son to flip the master. The legend is named once Alexander. At the age of 19, he became the Macedon king. And he swore to free all of Asia Minor. By the Aegean Sea, in 334 BC, he utterly beat the armies of Persia. Alexander the Great, his name revealed to hearts of men. Alexander the Great became a legend once mortal then.
So cool.
King Darius the Third defeated Lake Persia. The Scythians fell by the river Ganges. Then he did now to the Macedon king as well. And he founded the city called Alexandria. By the Tigris River, he met King Darius again and crushed him again. And the battle of Arbela, entered Babylon and soon some treasures he found. To Persepolis, the capital of Persia. Alexander the Great, his name struck fear into hearts of men. Alexander the Great became a god amongst mortal men.
I love this bit. Absolutely classic Iron Maiden, isn't it? couldn't be anybody other than Iron Maiden. That sound.
Frisian king around a chariot yoke, and Alexander cut the Gordian knot, and legend said that who would tie the knot, he would become the master of Asia. Hellenism he's been far and wide, the Macedonian learned and mine. The culture was a Western way of life, he paved the way for Christianity. The Bible we're marching side by side, Alexander's army line by line. They wouldn't follow him to India, tired of the combat, pain and the glory. Alexander the Great, his dead struck fear into hearts of men. Alexander the Great, he died of fever and
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love Iron Maiden with all of my heart. It is a thing that is just. There is no compromise. it is my band, but I don't listen to them as often as I used to, because I'm listening to so much other music now with the channel, and I'm bringing in other things and stuff. But every so often, I just have a need to go back and listen to some of my band, and this is it. So I was 15 when this came out, and a lot of the world events were happening, and I was aware of them, obviously, but I think probably more important in top of my mind was O-levels at school, exams, and trying to not get expelled and not get into trouble too much. It was a funny time being 15 at school in the UK in the 80s, and I had an absolute love of this band, Iron Maiden, and this is a great record. I remember it coming out clearly, absolutely clearly, and it's the third album in a row where it's got the same band members. So by this point, they've absolutely settled in. So first was Peace of Mind, then we had Power Slave, and then Somewhere in Time. So we have in the band, Steve Harris as the bass player. He formed the band, actually. It's Steve Harris's band. Dave Murray on lead guitar, Adrian Smith on lead guitar, Bruce Dickinson on vocals, and Nico McBrain on the drums. And it was a steady, solid lineup, which remained in place for another 2 albums after this, namely Seventh Son of His Seventh Son, and what was the next one after that? No Prayer for the Dying. But after that, Adrian Smith left, and the band changed altogether. But that song, as you can hear, is fairly quite proggy in many ways. And if you didn't catch what Bruce Dickinson was singing, I'll try and sort of give you a sense of how awkward the lyrics are, because it's not a usual sort of song. So near to the east, in a part of ancient Greece, in an ancient land called Macedonia, was born a son to Philip of Macedon. The legend, his name was Alexander. At the age of 19, he became the Macedon king, and he swore to free all of Asia Minor. By the Aegean Sea in 33 BC, he utterly beat the armies of Persia. Again, they have the chorus. King Darius III fled Persia. The Scythians fell by the river Jaxartes. Then Egypt fell to the Macedon king as well, and he founded the city called Alexandria. By the Tigris River, he met King Darius again and crushed him again in the Battle of Arbela. entering Babylon and Susa, treasures he found. He took Persepolis, the capital Persia. I mean, it's like a lesson in Greek mythology. Well, not Greek mythology, in ancient Greek, and it does not flow very well. I have to say, absolute hats off to Bruce Dickinson for tackling this. And I can see why it has taken them so long to get around to playing this live. It must be a feat of, I don't know, maybe had an auto cue to do it, because it is just not a straightforward song to sing in any way, shape or form. But musically, it is fantastic. There is so many little things going on. That guitar solo, or the guitar, it's not a solo, is it? But the guitar instrumental bit in the middle, from about 4 minutes onwards, is just fantastic. A shift in time signatures, interesting little bits here and there, melodies thrown around with abandon, and it's Iron Maiden at their best. And I love this band. I love them so much. I think the synths sound was charming, quite sort of cute in a funny sort of way. They don't sound modern, and I think that's because when they used them, they were absolutely brand new sounds. And the thing with using brand new stuff is it sounds old real quick, doesn't it? And I think that's what's happened here. And that's what happened, with a lot of the 80s drum parts, where I've talked about it before. We have that really gated snare sound and orchestra stabs and other sort of tricks of the 80s. They place a piece of music very, very firmly in that ballpark, because it's new and it was brand new at the time, and it got boring really quickly. People didn't want to keep hearing it, so it places something. And the same with the synths here. So I think it's quite charming, but it's an aged album in that respect, in the same way that, or no, in a way that earlier albums don't sound aged, because there is no 1980s synth sound in there, which is kind of what it is. So there we go. Anyway, I just wanted to share this little video with you because I just fancied listening to it, and I've been planning in my mind for some time now to maybe do an Iron Maiden series where we do listen to all the albums in chronological order. There's a lot of them, and we can do live ones as well. I mean, we've got enough to do. I mean, there's 17 studio albums plus probably as many live ones. Maybe not as many live ones, but there's a lot of live ones as well. So I think that might be quite a fun series to do at some point, if you're up for it. But if not, then we won't. Right. There we go. I'll see you guys on the next video, whenever and whatever that is. And until then, this is Jim, over and